Hi guys, welcome to video 2, and in today's video I'm going to take you inside my home here and I'm going to explain to you how to identify great opportunities for selling products on Amazon. But before we do, I want you to know that this whole video series and everything I do with Amazon is about one simple thing: happiness. You see, I believe that most people don't need to make a lot more money than what they currently make in order to be happy. But it's just that people want to change the terms on which they're making that money. You see, for me, as you're going to see, I live right here on the beach, and my non-negotiables are my morning walk, my yoga, and my meditation. None of those things actually cost money, but to get the most out of them, you need a calm mind and you need to be rich in time. And that's what Amazon is about for me. It's about time, ease, and sustainability. So with that in mind, come on in and let me teach you some stuff about Amazon. Hey guys, so before we jump in the kitchen and show you some real products, what I want to do is teach you some of the basic fundamentals of selling on Amazon that I strongly believe in. You won't learn this anywhere else because, I don't think any teachers out there are actually teaching this. This is very high level strategy, strategic thinking about how to view building a sustainable business. So everything that I teach to my students is all about two words. There's two things we're looking to achieve. We want to achieve a profitable business and we want to achieve a reliable business. Now in the context of Amazon, really the game is about learning to market and launch one product. And once you know how to do that, you can launch a second, a third, a fourth, and so on. And each of those products needs to be viewed just like a business, right? You need to do your due diligence and you need to, make sure you're going to be investing in the right thing. Much like buying real estate, right? If you buy a piece of property, you would do your due diligence, you would, make all the things done that you need to make sure that you're de-risking the project. And the idea over your lifetime perhaps is to build a portfolio. Same with Amazon. So the objective with Amazon is to build a portfolio of profitable and reliable income streams. Now that sounds good, but how do you actually do that? You see, so many times people get involved in opportunities in business because it's the hot thing at the moment or the latest multi-level marketing thing or whatever it is that they're in, but they don't really stop to think about what are the fundamentals that drive this thing and what's going to make it sticky, what's going to make it so that the money keeps coming even if I'm not working. Why are people going to keep buying from me in order to get paid? So what I want to do is I want to run through some basics, and I want to start over here on the left hand side of the board, because no business can be sustainable unless you first understand human nature. Why do I say that? Well, I say it because it's human beings that ultimately have to pay somebody money, right, in order for you to get paid to live wherever you want to live, right? So if you don't understand the human nature elements around the marketplace that you're selling, it's very hard to really predictably build profitable and reliable income streams. So when it comes to your competition on Amazon, people, everyday people that currently have jobs, not big corporate sellers, I'm talking about people like you and I trying to set out, make something of ourselves in this global environment. Let me make some points that are very, very important for you to remember right here and now. First of all, most people who enter and want to start an entrepreneurial business, they're impatient, right? And that, if you know that, is an opportunity for you. If you become patient while your competitors are impatient, you're going to have an advantage. Second of all, they're lazy, right? What they want to do is they want to buy a little course, they want to do as little as possible, they want to do the cheap way for everything, and then they expect massive results. If you want great results, you can't be lazy. And in a moment, when I step you through this model, there's going to be some work that you have to do that lazy people don't do, right? They rush and they're impatient, and those are your advantages if you know them. Thirdly, they're cheap. They don't invest in getting things done correctly. For example, one tiny example of the many things that you need to learn to be good on Amazon is great photography. They'll go and take these crappy little photos themselves with their dodgy little camera, and they won't even pay somebody to fix them up to make them look good, and then they wonder why their products don't sell. So if you're not impatient, you're not lazy, and you're not cheap, you're going to have a substantial advantage. And the last one is they're emotional. So they make decisions about what they're going to sell on Amazon based on what their heart is telling them, and they're not objective. If you're objective rather than emotional, if you can be, objective, allow people to be objectively critical of your choices, you're going to do a lot better. So if you can just think about those things, and don't be impatient, don't be lazy, don't be cheap, and don't be emotional, you're going to have a huge advantage. Now, what have I got over here? So I've got 3 circles, pretty poor circles, but circles nonetheless. Now, what this is really is the 3 things that you need to consider when you're going to launch a product on Amazon. And the first thing in here that affects how effective your business is going to be is price, right? So you can compete on price if you want in Amazon. Now, it's not a game that I would encourage you to do. And the reason I say that is if you go into a marketplace and your only differentiator is price, guess what? Anybody can drop the price. It takes no talent, right? And you'll probably lose because there's more than likely people in the world who have more money than you that can just keep getting better deals that you can't get. But that's one element that's going to affect how good your Amazon business is. The second one is marketing, right? So you can outmarket your competition if you want, and there are people out there that are expert marketers, and these people are usually drawn to high profit consumable products, things like supplements and things like cosmetics and so on, because the margins are super high. It attracts really good marketers. So if you're not an amazing marketer and willing to invest a lot into marketing time-wise and money-wise, you may not be wise to enter a space where marketing is the thing that determines the saleability of the product. And the last one is the product itself. Okay, is the product itself. So the name of the game, in my view, for smaller sellers and new sellers like us, especially sellers that want to have profitable and reliable income streams that come in without too much effort on your part, is to get a great product. If you take your time to find a product that people want to buy because it's fundamentally better, you're going to make everything so much easier, and also better products will actually enable you to get better pricing, and marketing becomes less important. Think about Apple. Apple computers are twice the price of PCs, yet people are lined up to get them because the product is actually better. It's not the marketing, it's the product is better. Yes, they're good at marketing, but the product is so fundamentally better that people are prepared to pay more without questioning it. So the holy grail that you're sort of aiming for is to find products in this overlap here. If you can sell products that have a very competitive price, that are well marketed and are unique, that's going to be the holy grail for you. However, if you can't do that and you can't get all 3, if you were just to pick 2, what you want to be is in this area here, the overlap between great products that are well marketed. What you want to stay away from is trying to get too involved in competing on price, because price is a game anyone can play, and it's a race to the bottom if you do that. Of all the products I sell, all 10 of them currently, they're all a premium price for their category. My number 1 selling product is $150, and the average product in that same category is about $30. So I'm 5 times the price of nearly every other product in the category, but I don't have to sell as many of them. I don't have to keep as many of them in inventory because I've done such a good job with the product being unique and the marketing being outstanding, that I can get this premium price, lower volume, higher profit. That's what I would encourage you to think about. Now, to close this off, before we jump into the kitchen and show you what I mean, I want to just get you thinking about two very important facts, right? In the United States alone, where most of you are going to be launching your Amazon businesses, there's 320 million people roughly in the United States, and of those, 9.5 million households are millionaires. 9.5 million. So think about that. You know, I live in Australia. There's only 25 million people. That means that roughly half the Australian population are millionaires in the United States. So that's not an insignificant market, right? 9.5 million millionaires in America. So the reason I point this out is don't be afraid of price. Be afraid of crap products. If you have a crap product, doesn't matter what the price is. Or if you have a product that's just cheap, you're never really going to be reliable because people are just going to undercut you all the time. If you get a great product, there's a market of people there that will buy it. Remember, the objective here for you and I is to find one product that can make a few $100s or $100 or $200 a day and then expand upon that. The last point over here is global. So what I'm saying here is that there's 9.5 millionaires in the United States. But when you combine, when you get going in this business and you ship product to the UK, from the UK, you can ship out to Germany, Italy, France, and Spain. Now, when you combine the populations of those other markets as well as Canada, the global market, just by having your inventory in 2 of Amazon's countries, is equivalent of the United States almost exactly. When you add up Germany, Spain, Italy, France, and so on, it almost equals 320 million exactly. So you can double this number for the number of millionaires probably just in getting that one product into 2 Amazon countries and doing it, which is what I do today. So these are the things you need to think about as we go over there, because what I want you to have at the end of the day is profitable, reliable income streams that are not subject to price and you having to be a guru marketer. It's all about you being patient and not lazy and not cheap, and finding great products that are differentiated, that people actually want. So let's jump over to the kitchen and give you some real examples.
Okay, so here we are in my kitchen. So what we're going to be doing now is talking about real products and why I would or would not sell them on the Amazon marketplace based on what I just taught you over there at the whiteboard. So what I want to do is I want to point out that when people look on Amazon, there's an order to the way they look at products. Okay, so Amazon first and foremost is a visual marketplace. In other words, let's say they search for calculators. The first thing they see is the photos of those calculators. So the eye is naturally drawn to the photos, and the eye scans for the photos or the images that catch the attention first. So these are the 3 things you need to think about. The visual image, visual differentiation. Remember, in a marketplace with millions of products in all categories, there's always hundreds or thousands of options. The first thing people scan are the photos. Second thing they look at is price. And third thing they look at is reviews. Okay, now in this video today, we're going to talk a little bit about, well, a lot about the visual differentiation. Then we're going to talk a bit about price, and reviews is a subject for another video. But for today, what I want to do is give you some real examples. So here we have a calculator, right? Now, on the screen, I'm going to show you one of the top selling calculators on Amazon, and I want you to notice something about what's different about that calculator. Now, as you can see from the image, the difference is it's green. It's bright green. Now, in a world of grey and black calculators, somebody developed a green one. Now, all the other calculators shown there in that image are either Casio or Texas Instruments, but this green one is a no-name brand. Okay, and the reason I believe that it stood out is not because it's cheaper, it's because it's bright green and it stands out visually, and there's a whole bunch of people that want something that looks not grey and not black. Okay, now I probably wouldn't sell an item like this personally, just because these sell for about $10 or $15, and that to me is a very small gross dollar sale. By the time you import it and then you do everything else, it's a very low gross dollar. Now, in my larger program that I work with my students on, I like to have higher ticket items because I like to be able to advertise my products inside of Amazon, and when the product's only $10 to start with, it doesn't leave a lot of gross dollars to play with to get attention. But I want you to understand the key that visual differentiation is really, really important. So let me go through a couple of other products here. Now this is a drying mat, a silicone drying mat that you simply sit on your bench top, you wash your dishes and you sit your plates on there and it drains the water into. Now the reason I bought this silicone drying mat is for one little reason. It has a hook on it, okay? Now, I don't know, it's not in shot here, but over here, there, you can just see it here. This is my tap, and I need this hook to be able to hang this thing up and dry it when it's done. So it's a tiny little piece of innovation that was not actually common with these silicone drying mats when I bought this online, and I bought it for that little piece of innovation where everybody else is sort of trying to fight for the very cheapest, you know, silicone drying mat. This particular one has this one feature which set it apart. Again, probably a little bit low ticket for the kind of products I'd like to see you selling, but I just want you to, again, just see this little point of differentiation. A photo with a finger going through showing that it hangs would immediately catch the attention. Okay, here's another example. This is a cast iron Chinese teapot, okay? Now, there's probably a bunch of people selling really cheap, you know, low ticket, easy to acquire types of teapots. This particular one has this beautiful traditional Chinese pattern work on it. It has this lovely base. The photograph of it online is absolutely beautiful. So what you've got here is a product that is design differentiated, and it happens to be bright red. Now, if you look around, you might find that a bright red teapot with this beautiful design in a world of white china would stand out phenomenally well, and a product like this could probably sell for, you know, $40, $50 on Amazon. So you've got a much higher gross dollar sale value, which gives you a little bit of gross margin to be able to advertise and get attention for this pot from day one. When I say advertise, I mean advertise inside of Amazon, so that when people search teapots, you can actually pay for your teapot to show up right there at the start from day one, which is one of the most exciting things about Amazon. It means you can go into the marketplace and be seen right alongside the #1 selling item on the platform from day one. But you have to have higher ticket value items to make that work most of the time. Okay, so moving on. Over here we have a drying rack for dishes, okay? Now, if I told you what I paid for this thing, you'd probably cringe. This is a high quality designer drying rack, but what's really cool about it, which none of the other ones have, is it's got this spout, okay? So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little mouth here, a little spout that comes out the side, so the water drains through the top as the dishes are drying, and it sits right here on the edge of my sink, and the water drains straight into the sink rather than just collecting in the base of it. Now, you might you might think, well, how much would somebody pay for this? I paid over $100 for this drying rack. You probably can't see it in the video as well, but it's a beautiful, high quality designer drying rack from a European company that has that feature. So rather than, you know, focusing on low cost products for the cheapest guy, leave that to the traders, right? Leave that to the traders and the marketers. What I'd rather see you do is get into a product that's high quality, that's differentiated, where you'll sell lower volumes but more consistently, so that you have that reliable income that we talked about before. Remember, you're not a big corporation. If you could sell, you know, 3 of these teapots a day and make, you know, $30 profit on them, that's $100 a day, you know, income, $700 a week from just one good quality product, as opposed to having to rely on something that's $10 and sell, you know, 10 of them a day to make $100 in gross sales and maybe $20 or $30 profit from, you know, that, and you've got loads and loads of competitors at that end of the market. All right, to illustrate that point further, as I said, I sell premium products. I try to create a solid brand, beautiful packaging, targeted at the consumer that's discerning, because I know that most people are lazy and just want the easiest entry point to market and don't really want to care about the product. That is my moat to my business. That's the protection moat around my castle. Here's an example. This is a dinner plate, right? This is the type of dinner plate that Amazon would probably sell directly, and all the big traders. It's a plain white dinner plate, and I'm sure every day there's hundreds of searches, probably thousands of searches for plain white dinner plates. Now these might retail really cheaply. You probably get a set of 10 for 20 bucks, and they're not going to cost much at all. It's very hard to compete in that space. These are my personal dinner plates in my home here, okay? So this is I don't know if you can see it there, but I'm going to put a photo on the screen so you can see it up close. This is a brand called Villeroy Boch. Now these plates, each plate is $70 per plate, okay? And the reason I pay that is because, you know, I like nice dinnerware. I love that kind of stuff, and it just so happens that there's 9.63 other millionaires in the United States that probably can afford these plates as well, okay? So, you know, there's always a market for this higher ticket. Now this sells for probably 6 of them for 20 bucks. These sell for $70 each. You don't have to sell as many of these, which is great because it means you can sit on the beach, even if you only sell one set of plates a day, you know, or a couple of sets a week at that sort of price, you can have a reliable business because the top end of the markets are rarely as crowded as the bottom ends of the market. What you want to be is in what we call blue ocean, which is a piece of water that doesn't have sharks all trying to feed on the same school of fish. It's full of blood. That's what we call red ocean. We try to get our students into blue ocean niches where they're looking for the lower volume, higher value, higher margin sales, not only so that they don't have to sell as much, but so those markets are more protected. Here's a good simple example of another really simple differentiation, visual differentiation. Over here we have a plain cup, right? This is just a plain glass that you can probably get 1 million of these. I went down, I recently had a housewarming here at my new home, and I found these glasses in a retailer, and as you can see, they're really cool because they've got this curve in them. Now, the number of people that came to me at the party said, man, where did you get those glasses? They're awesome. Because all that this Italian company has done is just bent them, okay? They've just put them in a slight arc to make them unique, okay? So that little piece of differentiation, you know, people might pay, you know, $20 for a set of 6 of these, but they might pay $40 for a set of 6 of these, even though the manufacture cost is almost the same. If they see those two side by side for 20 bucks, you're going to go with the cool ones. But the difference in margin to you as the product owner is enormous, okay? So it's all about taking your time and finding products that people, when they see them, their head turns. Think of it like the beautiful woman that walks into the crowded party in the red dress. Everyone's like, whoa, look at that. That's what you want with your products. You want the beautiful woman in the red dress, okay? Rather than just somebody that walks in that looks pretty much like everybody else with a better headline and, you know, marketing and trying to make things work. Actually walk into the room with a better dress. Does that make sense? The last example I want to give you is a coffee cup. Now this is a plain blue and white coffee cup, right? Nothing exciting about this. On screen is the #1 selling coffee cup in Amazon right now, and I want you to notice what's different about it. Now I can tell you the manufacture cost between this one I'm holding and the one on the screen right now is going to be negligible, but the one on the screen right now is super cool because it looks like a pill box and it's got the clever writing on the side that says, you know, this has been prescribed to you by Dr. Feelgood, consume until mood improves and all that sort of stuff. That product has sold thousands of units. This one, who knows, right? It's just a plain old coffee cup. So what I'm saying to you is think about when people are searching Amazon and they type in for what it is that you sell, how can you be the beautiful woman in the room that everybody turns and looks at? How can visually, without them having to read your listing and read your headline, there's nothing more powerful than the image itself. And it's not just a great photo, it's a great product in the photo that is uniquely identified. If you do that, remember I said, first thing they look at is the images, second thing the price, and the third thing the reviews. Now we're not going to touch on reviews now, but when you get to price, if it's really a cool product that is photographed beautifully, you'll get a premium price, which fills that objective of profitable and reliable. Because most people, they just don't think about these things. All they want to do is find the easiest way to get some glass cups or coffee cups or dinner plates, and they think they're just going to put their brand on it, their fancy logo, and that's going to be enough. Folks, if you want a stable income, if you want an income that's going to follow you around the world, no matter what you're doing or where you are, you need to innovate. You need to differentiate. I take the most time choosing my products, and most of my products are off-the-shelf products that are buried in catalogs from China that most people haven't taken the time to really dig deep to find. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So guys, how cool was that? In the next video, I'm going to teach you my velocity retailing formula, which is basically the fastest way to grow your income on Amazon using 2 levers that most online retailers simply don't understand. So hopefully you're enjoying the program so far. If you are, please feel free to share it with your friends and get them involved. Otherwise, I'm going to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.